listening to Oilersnation Radio, a member of the Nation network of podcasts and delivered by DoorDash. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Dan, Rick, Tyler, and Bag Milk starts now.
Oilersnation Radio, 95,000. That's what the episode is, Tyler.
243.
Pretty close.
I think.
As we do every week. Well, every Friday anyway, we start off with a delicious debate for our friends at Oodle Noodle and DoorDash. New location in Calgary, I heard, is opening the first week of December. If you were down there behind enemy lines, prepare for something delicious to eat. If you're here in Edmonton, it's kind of rainy outside today, and that is no bueno in November. So order something from our friends at DoorDash.
I ran a yield sign. Had nothing to do with the rain. I just didn't see it. But anyways, the rain does make the roads dangerous. So
I hope there's no police listening to this.
Yeah, or
you just stated something.
Citation in the mailbox at Dogpatcher right away.
That was Tyler's guilty conscience speaking.
Unrelated, but when was the last time you had your eyes checked?
My eyesight's really good. The lights that shine.
Says who?
They may be ruining it, but
that yield sign says differently.
That yield sign.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It's in a tricky
it comes out of you nowhere
from out of
triangle.
I really wasn't sure what was going on.
Came out of nowhere.
I thought yield signs were just suggestions anyways.
Yeah,
guidelines.
One of my first ever meetings with the Nation was with Coombsy. And he slipped through a yield sign while I was in the car with him. It was my first time ever meeting him. He's like, "You want to go grab a coffee?" I was like, "That's weird. You work in a coffee shop," but sure. Got in his car and we slid through an intersection. It was spooky.
Where'd you go for coffee?
Starbucks.
Did he pay for it?
Yes.
Oh, what a guy.
Wow.
Stand-up guy.
Tries to kill you.
Anyways.
Then buys you a coffee.
We usually start the show with some nonsense. I felt like you were getting into the delicious debate too quickly. So I wanted to just derail
We
it
just
for a
needed to
second.
keep talking to allow Liam to get in here after the England game.
What happened, Liam?
I can't discuss what happened.
Okay, so we don't own the rights.
It's a draw. It's terrible. It's basically a win for the US of A. And they would.
Why is that? Explain to me.
Because we're better. And we should be beating shitty teams like the US. We are fifth in the world, and we don't play like it. Ugh. It was just so shitty.
But
got pinned back for almost 90 minutes, gave no effort. They won the game on Monday 6-2. They couldn't score. They had one shot on target.
Is there goals for, goals against in World Cup? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goal difference is what they call it.
So there's a problem.
No, they're good. They're already plus four.
We have 4 points. Iran has 3. The US has 2 and Wales has 1. But the issue is, if we had won today, we would have gone through to the next round. But now everyone's still open. Anyone can still go through.
Okay, but how exciting is it to watch the third game if you guys are already advanced? They're really just doing this to increase the fun for everybody at home.
But it's not funny if you lose.
They didn't lose though.
But if they lose game 3 and they don't make it through.
They just want to increase the tension a little bit, so make sure the fans have a good time.
They're not having a good time, I'll tell you that much. Then you play Wales, who's always gets up for these games because it's a 4 nations game, and it's just.
And you're literally having to battle other Wales.
Yeah, they have 11 Wales on the pitch.
It's a big day. But how many, Liam? How many soccer games would you say at the World Cup end at a 0-0 tie?
There's been a lot this year. They actually said no other team has had more 0-0 draws than England in the World Cup history.
There you go.
Try being a fan.
Well,
you've seen them all.
You're not.
I feel like I do every time.
You're not losing. You just don't lose. You don't win.
I'd rather lose.
Wow.
I don't know. I wouldn't rather lose.
You didn't mean that.
He's changing his mind real quick here.
It's just fresh right now, I think.
Yeah, I'm raw.
Well,
I was a little bit upset almost that we didn't have a camera or a microphone on you because you were pacing out there.
Just a camera.
Well,
I got here. He was sitting on his chair at the table, and within minutes he finished his burger, and then he started inching forward and closer and closer and closer to the television.
I saw a little bit of Rick coming out of him though, where he's standing up and pointing at the TV.
I said I felt like I was having an out of body experience watching myself watch hockey, but I was watching him watch soccer. It's I understand. I enjoyed it.
Can we talk about Canada? What do you think are their chances against Croatia on Sunday?
Good.
What time is the game?
9 a.m. I think. Yeah,
nice.
All the group stage games in the groups 1 in the first 2, 3 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m., and noon. I think they have a really good chance. I think it was bold to say they're going to go F Croatia. Seems like they like.
Croatia. That was the coach of Canada said that?
Yeah.
I loved it though.
I mean, yeah, it's fun to kind of hear, but if you're the other team, it's like, well,
could you imagine the outcry if anybody in North America printed a paper with an image on it, like the Croatians did with coach there?
Herdman.
How did they get the naked photo of him though?
Wow.
Photoshop. Yeah. Canada's good though. They played well. A lot of good comments after the game from the Belgian players. Like Kevin De Bruyne, who's like one of the best players in the world, won man of the match. He's like, I did not deserve this at all. Like Canada was way better. Like we couldn't break them down and like all this stuff.
What do you call people from Belgium?
Belgians.
Waffles.
Yeah,
Waffles.
knew that actually. Never mind.
That was you were excited to get that question out there.
I was actually like thinking, I was like, what do you call Belgians? Yep, that makes sense. Boy, banner starting this week's pod.
Running yield signs and figuring out waffles.
All right.
It's the rain. The rain's getting to his brain.
I feel for you, pal. I believe in England, I suppose. I mean, I have no affiliation to them, so just for your sake, I believe in them.
Go Three Lions.
Just annoying. They just do this to us every single tournament. And it's just like, you win your first game and it's okay, always good. You get to the second game and it's always shit.
You know what I like about the World Cup right now? Like, I'm a big fan of having live sports on right when I wake up.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
3
fun.
a.m., 6 a.m. These are.
I woke up this morning. I was texting Liam and we're watching the Netherlands, not together, but almost together. It was nice.
Holland Hup.
yeah, we did what I said, didn't we?
Did the
It was
Netherlands
nice.
win?
No, it's 1-1. My girlfriend really appreciates it because she gets up for work early, like around the same time that the games start, and she's like, "You never have coffee with me in the morning," and now I do.
Just for a
Yeah,
couple
but how
weeks.
much are you actually talking to her? Are you like making that cup of coffee, then getting to the couch? You're like, hold on, I gotta.
We talk about the game because she plays, so she has an understanding. It was pretty funny her watching me against England the other day. I was probably worse than I was today, and they won
6-2.
Yeah,
Wasn't
I
even
was
close.
getting in there with the headers and kicking it with them, and it was awesome. Yeah.
I love it.
You,
I love it.
you need like a little ball attached to a string and attach that to your foot so you can make the same plays, and the ball always comes back to a little tether rope there, and yeah.
Well, delicious debate time. I think we gotten our nonsense out of the way.
Well, we only got a
England pull it back. Delicious debate.
yes. I
they-
believe because they're intimidated by no one. I've learned that recently.
It's a real life joke for those who are tuning in.
Tyler?
Delicious debate.
Kick us off.
All right. It's Black Friday today. It's a big shopping day for those of you who don't know that.
Nationgear.ca.
So let's go to a hypothetical world where you can go Black Friday shopping for the Edmonton Oilers. What would you be buying for them?
What kind of parameters we got?
Literally none. You can say anything. So I floated this question out to Matt Larkin earlier today, and he said he would try to buy a cryogenically frozen Curtis Joseph
That's insane.
to plop right into the Oilers crease from the 90s, put them right in. I said I would buy them a bunch of 5-hour energy so that they start games on time. Really help them get get going, hit some, skate around all crazy.
Rick is
Also,
passionately
also
shaking his head.
incorrect.
What's the answer?
What
Rick?
is it?
The 2006 Chris Pronger.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
Dude, Chris Pronger on this team?
I was going to say the exact same
Come
thing.
on.
And you got to remember, 2006 Chris Pronger was making like $4 million.
Yeah. I saw
That's
Coombs'
Barry money.
video about how the Blues had to trade him because they couldn't squeeze him in with this darn new salary cap. But Chris Pronger's a good answer.
2006 Chris Pronger. Bang, done.
Okay. I got to think of a new answer. Dan, what do you got? Black Friday shopping for the Edmonton Oilers.
Well, I before this segment, before we started recording this, Tyler kind of gave us the parameters of like coming up with like a product or something. And so I was thinking of that tonic that Mr. Burns gave Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
We give that to Tyson Berry, and then he turns into a Chris Pronger of our own.
Oh, I thought you wanted him to have a big head.
Because he becomes
No, his head just
gigantic.
grows. His
No,
head just grows.
but see, the tonic has been refined since then.
I'm like,
and
I'm
it's
pretty
just
sure
going
you
to
just
help
get
the
that from Barry
entire
Bonds'
body.
living room.
It's just going to help the entire
Allegedly
body
American
grow,
opinion.
and he's going to be Chris Pronger style. So the Mr. Burns' human growth tonic is my purchase.
Along the lines of whatever the Monstars were drinking.
Yes.
Or Michael's special
Yes,
stuff.
that's a good one too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Liam, you're going Black Friday shopping for the Edmonton Oilers.
Well, I'll just give the same answer I gave on the show before. I'm going with another $4 million man, Oscar Clefbaum.
A working shoulder for
A
class.
work-
I
Working
thought for
shoulder for
sure you're
Clef.
going with bananas.
Yes, everyone gets one banana before the game. And
Potassium helps.
But Clefbaum. So this would be the last year of his deal, right?
Yep.
So you've had Clefbaum for the last 4 years, and now he comes in and he's just maybe he's your Pronger. And he's on. the
He
team,
walks
so
in. So I could follow me down this rabbit hole, Liam. Clefbaum comes back. It's miraculous. Everybody's excited about it. But he shows up to Rogers' place wearing a leather vest, no shirt. Walking in, everybody knows he means business.
Yep. Abs are out.
His shoulder is now entirely metal.
No, he comes out in the ravishing Rick Rude the robe, and then slowly undoes it for everybody, for the ladies and the bag milks in the crowd.
Thank you.
We unveil our first ever bionic man.
It's Oscar Clefbaum.
Do have Connor, and he honestly sat there and just like concentrated.
True. But he went
and
into
his knee went back together. So
he went into a tube and thought positive thoughts.
One.
Rick said Chris Pronger, that's his Black Friday purchase for the Edmonton Oilers. So to keep it a little bit different, I'm going to say Jason Smith.
Someone commented that today.
Other side of the defense.
Yep.
Mean as all hell. Help keep the puck out of the net. All of a sudden, hey, listen, if you got a first pairing, you got Gator on one side, Chris Pronger on the other side, nobody's getting anything done.
Maybe the store you're shopping at has a BOGO on for Black Friday.
Either way, both those guys are going to quickly realize that there's a new set of rules, and they're going to have to refine their games very quickly.
Yeah. Chris Pronger, no chop into the throat anymore, or whatever allegedly used to happen. I want to hear from you. Owen Radio Podcast. What are you buying the Oilers for Black Friday? This is hypothetical. Tyler threw this out there. There's no rules. You can make up your own rules, man.
Fun little discussion.
What
wouldn't you buy? Like if you saw something on sale and you're like, yeah, it's a pretty good price, but not for me.
What wouldn't you buy for the Edmonton Oilers? What should they be staying away from?
Like if Victor Faust is on sale, like he's in the bargain bin, I'd be like, I love a $5 DVD, but I don't think I need this.
That's a good one.
That's a good point.
You know?
I don't have anything.
Have you ever made a bad impulse purchase on Black Friday?
All the time.
Well, actually, I did it yesterday.
That's a quick regret.
It wasn't bad. It was a mistake. And I made it worse for myself. So Kate Spade had a sale on 50% off. If anyone's looking for anything.
Could have given me 100 guesses. Wouldn't have nailed that.
Now, were you shopping for yourself or your missus?
My missus.
Oh, okay.
All right. There was a little gap there. I thought he was going to say himself for a second.
Business. Business. Interesting. So I was buying this ring, not that kind of ring, just a little ring.
She's not listening to this, is she?
She might. So, actually, hopefully not. Turn it off. So I buy this ring and I'm like, I ordered it. Everything's good. I literally sat there for like 2 hours and I thought about it again. I was like, I didn't put the size for the ring. So like, that is not a good thing. This could be anything.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Like you're going to present this ring to your missus.
On one
like, are you going to put it in like a bag or something so she doesn't think like you're...
Oh, I'm going to like wrap it up. Yeah. No.
Are you going to get down on one knee?
Not. No. Well, anyway, wait.
I'm just curious.
He's like, she's opening the present. I'm not even the house at the time.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, oh no, it's like you have one of those little parachute men that we used to play with and now you just throw it at it.
So I go back and I email customer support. I'm like, hey, like I didn't put a size on the ring. Like, can I change it? And they were like, hey, Liam, like, sorry, you can't change it. And then I was like, oh.
They know him on a first name basis now.
And I went and looked. I didn't even order a ring. It was a bracelet.
So you were way off on the product.
Yeah, it was the incorrect product.
You put a lot of thought into. You can tell you put a lot of thought into that.
Are you rolling with that bracelet as your gift?
I've got no choice now. I can't get a refund on it.
I love that there's probably a customer service agent at Kate Spade that read the email like, what is this guy even talking about? I didn't buy a ring.
Yeah, so...
No, it sounds like they deal with this all the time. And they're just like, hey, actually, no, you can't change that now.
Yeah, so I won't be running into the engagement issue at Christmas.
Oh, that's good.
I have a Black Friday similar story. I saw something that came up on my targeted Instagram ads like a month ago. And I was like, that would be a great Christmas gift for the missus. And then yesterday I got a targeted ad being like, hey, it's on sale for Black Friday. And I was like, got to remember to do that. But now I can't find the website. I didn't screenshot it. So I'm trying to trick the algorithm into sending it back to me.
That explains why he's just sitting there yelling by his phone.
So I've been just Googling like fuzzy women's pajamas all morning, trying to get my like whatever to be like, hey, he wants that targeted ad again on Instagram. I'm flipping through my stories like crazy, hoping it pops up again.
If only that Instagram ad wasn't the only one ever selling fluffy pajamas.
But it was on sale. It was half price.
I'm just...
So I need to find the the same
Every
one.
time you see something that kind of piques your interest, you need to click it, open it. No, you got to click the link and open it up in your Windows and just like get out of there and go back and search whatever. So it's in a window, it's open on your browser, you're good to go.
Unlike the rest of you, I've already had a successful Black Friday. I ordered myself today, Rick.
Yes.
3 sets
of
high thread count sheets.
Oh, come on.
Smart man.
50% off.
Come on.
No. From where?
Well played.
50% off.
I heard you.
You jealous?
I am jealous. I want to know.
Amazon.
But
really?
The other ones were $40.
I made a stupid decision today. Another one. I looked up Google Home on Amazon. Nothing came up. And I thought, why on earth would Amazon sell a Google Home when they have their own like Siri
Amazon version?
I'm actually surprised you can't buy one on there though.
Come find it. There was no Google product.
You got to go like Best Buy or something.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm looking forward to my high thread count sheets. You guys are all invited for a sleepover.
Whether the Oilers win or lose, you'll be sleeping good is what you're telling me.
They're not getting here that fast.
Jeff Bezos will have those in my house probably tomorrow.
Oh, he's got a little fucking drone over your place right now looking for the numbers.
Mm-hmm. All I know is I'm going to be sleeping real nice. You're all invited one by one.
I take it.
I think my non-Oilers purchase would be Nikita.
Yeah, pass on those. Pass on. Listen, I don't want this to sound bad, but just knowing the Oilers' history,
we don't need to jinx
if there's a Russian defenseman, if you're walking down the Russian defenseman aisle, Belov, Grebishkov, Nikitin, they usually don't work out for us.
Hold on.
What about Bobo?
Yeah.
Bobo was good. And which version of Grebishov are we talking about? The first, second, or third? Because the first was fine. 2 was not as great. And 3, well,
that is the one.
You throw something through the washing machine a couple times and the color kind of faded.
That's the Oilers' weak spot. They see Dennis Grebishkov on sale and they're like, oh, damn it.
The third time he was around, you know when you have sheets and they got those little balls of fluff on them? That was the last time he was here. So there you go. I'm sure that is exactly what Oodle Noodle and DoorDash were anticipating when they paid their invoice this month.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you. Delicious debate. Hit us up.
I have a second one.
Podcast. Please.
Through 20 games, how many Oilers would you give a passing grade to for their play?
Passing grade?
Yeah.
So Tyler asked me this on Oilersnation Radio right before we started recording this. I'm just going to steal his answer. Connor Leon, Nuge, Hyman, Stuart Skinner.
I think for the most part are going to get passing grades, but don't forget a D- is a passing grade. So
C's get degrees.
Okay, yeah, I guess. I didn't think of it like that.
This ain't like a 50. I mean, if we're talking university, we need 80% to pass or something like that. Those are the classes.
How many Oilers would you give a good grade to for their play is a better way to put it, I guess.
Brad Malone.
2, 3.
Who you got
4,
as you're counting it?
5. So I got Connor Leon, obviously. I got Stuart Skinner. I still think Hyman is close enough to getting in there. Nuge is close enough to getting there.
Was Kane before he got injured?
He would have been my other one, just to be different.
Yeah, he would have been on the cusp. But I wanted a little bit more from him. I'm not so sure there's anybody lower than those guys. Like a McLeod, I think, still gets a passing grade. Defensive wise, CC. Yeah. CC, I think, has been fine. I still think Darnell's good. He's obviously not what everybody wants, but what he is what he is, and I think he's been fine. Outside of that, though, I'm not so sure there's going to be a lot of happy parents reading their report cards.
Rick was always that nice teacher, though. He's always that, just looks after everybody, make sure everybody feels good.
This team is still 10-10. It's still 500. I understand that's not where we want to be. We have bigger expectations. We believe more in ourselves than that. But it's only a quarter way into the season. Usain Bolt never gave up running the 100 meter after 25 meters. If he was, he's got the really long legs, right? So it takes him a little bit of time to get going here. So I'm considering the Oilers the Usain Bolt of the NHL. We need to get those big long legs going in full strides. And by the halfway point, we're probably pulling ahead of everybody by 3 quarters. We're sitting there, we're smiling at the short Canadian guy over there. And then, when it's all said and done, we have the gold.
I would just say that you're not wrong in saying that from 21 games on, we're going to keep going. But I think that the list that Tyler laid out is a little closer to what I would say is a passing grade. So it's Leon and Connor, right. And then Hyman and Nuge.
Yep.
Skinner. I think I would put CC in there myself. I think CC has been,
that's fair,
just as solid as I could ask of him. And that's it. But otherwise, I think that this team is like, I think we just have to be really brutally honest.
So the only name I had in there that was not included was
McLeod.
Nurse, correct? Oh, McLeod, that's fine.
And I don't agree with you on Nurse. I don't say Nurse has been bad, but I don't think Nurse has been everything that we could hope for.
He's not playing as good as he should be. He's playing subpar for his expectations.
Fair, but I don't think
expectations aside, he's not playing well enough for his own standards.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
for his own standards, but he's also trying to make up for his defensive partner.
And that's fine. Right? And I would say that about Bouchard as well, right? I would say that Bouchard has been having to
Bouchard's having not a great start.
He's having a minute.
But like that's my thing is that I don't think that that's going to continue for him, but I just think 20 games into the season, you're looking at like 6 guys where you could say, yeah, those are people that I would say, I want you to repeat what you did for the last 20 games and we will have success.
Liam, what you got?
I don't really have anything else. I mean,
he's just so defeated after a tie.
The list,
he's in Italian melancholy.
Slim to none. There's more players on the Oilers list than England's list today. I'll tell you that much.
How does this affect the English football team?
I can't wait for cold performers.
It's so true.
You said that Nurse has been trying to make up for his defensive partners. His most common teammate by a wide margin, his most common deep partner, Cece. Cece, I think, has been the best defenseman.
You know what? So going back, I do believe the organization kind of screwed up the raising of Nurse and in the organization
massively
by locking him down with an anchor. With he's not allowed to just figure out his own game and make his mistakes. He's got to worry about his partner. And I'm terrified that if we don't get another quote unquote Keith, a veteran who's been around who can do some mentoring for Bouchard, that we're going to do the same thing with him.
Elliot Friedman today was on with Bob Stauffer and said something along.
Why doesn't he come on here?
I don't know.
We'll have to ask him.
Mm-hmm.
Ducking us.
But
Bob, you mean,
the reason I bring this up is Friedman said something. They were talking about moves that could happen sooner rather than later.
Oh, dear God.
And Friedman said, well, maybe it'd be Klingberg to Edmonton.
Does that help us defensively at all?
So that's my thing is like Klingberg is a really, really good D-man.
Yeah, but unless we're flipping him for Barry, as part of the return there, I don't see how it.
Yeah, I don't know what
fits.
you're into, what you have to subtract. Another question would be of our issues in our own end, how many of them are derived from not being able to move that puck out? I know there's obviously times when they're coming in a 3-on-2 or whatever and walk around us or whatever, but how many times are we stuck in our own end because we can't move that puck out properly?
Too much.
So maybe a guy like him would help get the puck out. Because, we are missing that in Mike Smith, right? The first pass was not a defenseman before. It was Smith to a defenseman. It kind of eases up away from a forward, and the pass 2 and 3 are subsequent. Right now, we're not making that first pass, and our forwards are flying the zone now, making the second pass or even the first pass that much harder because they expect already to be 1 or 2 passes in and the puck moving. We have
talking about breakouts. Liam made a funny, we were talking yesterday, just kind of bullshitting at the office. And you made a funny joke where you're like, the thing about Evan Bouchard right now is he either cannot make a pass or he's going to make 180-foot bomb pass right onto the tape. And there's no in between.
Yeah.
It's either a turnover or you're right. He's putting just an absolute dime onto another guy's onto his teammate's stick at the other blue line. It's a breakaway or something. Yeah, it's a good point.
And then they can't pick up the pass and then goes in the corner.
But if you're bringing in a Klingberg and you're sending somebody else out the door, is the defense that much better?
Depends on what the subtraction is.
Is he a lefty or righty?
Righty. Because our addition last year of Kulak allowed everybody to slide down. And that was the big thing, is that whoever you bring in, to me, has to move the people that are behind them defensively down the depth.
It would move Bouchard down.
So I think what it might
even subtract minutes from Cece at that point.
So let's say it was Barry and a first for Klingberg at 50% retained, right? Make their Klingberg down to 4.5 million, whatever, right? You make the money work. Now Klingberg is your top pairing right shot guy. Cece's now your second pairing right shot guy. And Bouchard is on the third pairing, maybe paired up with a Kulak and
sheltered offensive minutes.
He's sheltered offensive minutes.
Then let's do it. I'm in. I'm all in.
Is he the guy who you would be like, you only have one 2023 first round pick to move?
But how do you make it fit?
Anaheim keeps $2.5 million and takes Barry.
I thought he made $9 million.
7.
Anaheim did this with this in mind. They did this with
Klingberg did it. He did that. We call it the Taylor Hall.
There's a reason he has a no trade clause only until January 1st.
Yep.
I don't mind it. I just
here he comes.
I just don't think Klingberg, if you're doing the Barry swap, okay, I guess. But is that the defensive style this team needs? Like Mora?
I still believe that we need to play a better 5-man defensive unit. It's not about having that. I mean, there's very few Chris Prongers out there. There's very few Gators out there. There's very few defensemen you can put out there to stop things, right? You need to do it as a 5-man unit. And I do believe if you brought in a Klingberg or something like that, it would improve.
John Klingberg in 375 on 5 minutes with the Ducks has been outscored 23-11. The context there being the Ducks are
they're terrible.
So
How was he in the playoffs last year? Because Dallas had that reputation of being tough to play against when they played Calgary.
That's a better
right?
question than what he's doing right now with the Ducks.
So I wonder if he's able to bring that same tone to the Oilers.
Yeah. Last year in the playoffs, he played 103 5-on-5 minutes. And in that time, it was goals were 2-2, but the shots were 78-36 in a bad way. So that's not great.
So Calgary was shelling him.
Calgary was shelling him last year. In the regular season last year, again, just digging up the 5-on-5 numbers for this guy. He played just over 1,300 minutes, was outscored 68-58, and the shots were pretty darn close to even. 48% was the shot share.
and was he their like top pairing guy?
Yeah, he would have been a top pairing guy for Dallas. I still think, like, those numbers aside, I wouldn't worry too much about him. I think he's a guy who moves the puck really well and is a proven top 4 commodity. I'm just, again, if that's going to be the guy you move the first round pick for, it's a big swing.
It's a swing, yeah. But you're talking about his numbers or whatever and what he does.
Yeah.
Shouldn't they just keep Barry if that's what you're going to do?
Well, is it Klingberg's off the books at the end of the season too, correct?
Yeah.
So you're paying for a bit more financial flexibility.
Then you're giving up a first just to get half a season of Klingberg and then get out of Barry.
You're not guaranteed that though, right? Because you may make some offensive moves and then find money to sign a Klingberg with the hopefully with the cap going up this.
I think one other thing to consider is too, the Oilers don't score goals now. Like
we can't score. We can't even outscore our problems right now, which is like, dude, we had 50 shots last game and 0 goals.
So what if he helps that issue of helping other players score points?
Keeps the puck out of our net and adds pucks to their net.
And just to add to that, it's 50 shots in 48 minutes, by the way. We had no shots in the first 12 minutes of the game.
That's the craziest part. And they hit a couple goalposts in there too, I think. Like, wild.
But that's what happens when this team has to play from behind.
Yep.
Then we start racking up the shots and we look and we're like, oh, weird, we got goalie. No, you got beat early and then you got beat shorthanded and then you just couldn't catch up.
I think that's a great point. I called it in real life the other day, the worst 50 shot performance I've ever seen from a team. And it was, they didn't play that good.
No.
They could have, if they would have won that game 4-3, we would have been sitting here going, they got lucky.
Got away with that one.
They got away with some sloppy shit.
They're good. I mean, to be fair, the Islanders weren't playing perfect. Their goaltenders made some key saves and
then we made it easy on him too. Like Hyman tried to bang the puck in, I think 3 times. And don't get me wrong, I love him for trying it, but he's trying to bang it in at the ice level. Sorokin's got his legs down there. You're never beating him at that level. So yeah, push through. But yeah, anyways, that game was one of those ones where I feel like the Oilers made it look better than it actually was.
I'm really frustrated right now with the lack of depth scoring
period.
But like the thing is, if it's not Connor, Leon, Nuge, Hyman, who's getting goals right now? Nobody. Because if those guys ain't scoring, nobody's getting a sniff right now. And that's a problem. I didn't see it coming in the offseason.
I will give him a little bit of a fucking pump, but Fogel has been a little bit better. But
ish. No, like of the rest.
If everyone is
top of the
everybody had Fogel numbers right now, things would be
if everybody was
not a lot different, but a little bit.
They'd be better right now.
The only other thing I'd add to that is, and I'm not complaining about Fogel's production at all, but he did it when he got elevated. He scored the shorty. But he did it when he got elevated. And it's like, okay, we need guys who are scoring when they're not with 97 and 29. Yeah. And it's great that Fogel stepping up for Kane's injuries. Awesome. Perfect. I give him a ton of props for the way he's played. He looks way more engaged. Very impressed with Warren Fogel. But the guys who are away from 97 and 29, they need to start scoring too. Like, that's what makes a good team.
Yep.
Of course.
No, there's no denying it, man. This team can't really defend right now as a team. They're having trouble scoring as a team. They're just spinning their tires in some mud right now.
You know what they need?
Chris Pronger.
Maybe a trip to the mountains. Our friends at Tourism Jasper, we got half price lift tickets available at Marvin Basin. Only $89 plus tax. Come on. The best deal in the Canadian Rockies is back for 2022 and 2023. Save 50% off the regular price adult, senior, student, and youth lift tickets every single day all season with Tyler. No blackout dates. You want to go skiing? Jay is there right now.
He looks like he's having a good time.
He is having a good time because Jasper is amazing and you should go there. What's in your eye? What's going on over there?
You okay?
I think I'm getting a headache from these lights.
Yeah, I saw his little pinch there. I thought the lights in your studio are so much brighter.
I'm blinded.
I tried to warn you, Tyler. Felt like it was getting pretty heavy on you and the lighting, but
Yeah, well.
Need some of those glasses you wear at the dentist.
Oh, like those old 3D glasses.
Or just go full on Bob McCown. Shades in the studio.
I dig it.
I think that I'm almost at an age where I might start pulling that off, you know?
Oh, why not?
Shades inside.
Shades all the time.
I remember once at school, do you know that song, I Wear My Sunglasses at Night?
no, never heard of it. Never heard of it.
Doing a charity event where they had to raise so much money. They literally played that song like all day.
Oh, Lord.
I can't even see you, Tyler. The light's off now. I can't even see you on the
That's a
screen.
good thing it's a podcast.
Yeah, with that.
I think, but like
pops.
in the evening, I maybe get some
really
yellow
does.
frame
Tape it
glasses
down.
or yellow lens
Slightly
glasses.
tinted.
Like that Sharks defenseman, Fraser McLaren or whatever. Or
like
Kyle,
Kyle
McLaren.
A young Elton John.
Exactly.
I've always said Bag Milk's very much like a young Elton John.
I'd look
I
great
see
in a
it.
duck
Tiny
costume.
dancer.
When you don't wear them, you have to wear them like Guy Fieri though, on the back of your neck.
Oh, of course.
Or
And
else
then
you'll
like
know.
also when I'm not wearing them, I just get a sweet Flames shirt.
Yes.
Like not Calgary Flames.
Belgium.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you wanna specify that.
Belgium
Actual
football
Flames.
kit. Belgium World Cup football kit.
Wally Wally.
Anyway, I was getting to the, if you want some lift tickets for Marvin Basement, jasper.travel / Tyler.
/
Escape. Jasper.travel / escape.
I just like how all four of us, when Bag Milk, when you said we should go to the mountains, all went, we should do
good
that
time.
more
The
often.
word association, the mountains.
I love Jasper so much.
Me too.
It's one of my favorite places on earth.
Gorgeous
Check it out.
spot.
Go check it out.
One of your favorite places on earth next to this studio. And
Yep.
the good times we have.
The big guy is smoking
We
hot.
were hitting the cricket's butt.
Next thing I want to talk about a little bit is the Oilers made a little move on defense today, recalling Philip Broberg from the Bakersfield Condors. Markus Niemelainen sent back in 7 games played in the AHL so far. Broberg had 2 goals, 2 assists. What are you expecting from this move?
I mean, he scored twice in 7 AHL games. That's pretty good.
Scored them both in one game.
Okay.
One of them was a beauty, though, wasn't it?
One of them was sick. It went end to end.
What do you expect from Broberg? Because like, are we shuffling deck chairs here?
Maybe
Or is this
a
an actual
little,
upgrade?
Slightly.
But who has more upside, Broberg or Niemelainen?
Depends who you
Broberg or
talk to.
Murray?
Broberg's the answer in any situation. He's maybe not the answer that we talk about a lot, but I think he at least gives you some upside here. You were coming into the year. The plan was for Philip Broberg to be your everyday third pairing defenseman. Injuries and some poor play in the preseason got in the way of that. You let him go get 7 games under his belt down in the American League. Now let's see what this guy can do at the NHL level. I have no problem with it whatsoever. I think it's a good move. There's no downside to doing this.
Liam, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they've tried everything else on the blue line right now. You may as well give him. Next up, Jason Demers. That's what I would say.
See, I think they put him down there and when he went down there, he didn't play right away. He was injured, right? So obviously he was injured to start. So we've been doing some makeup till now. Comes back up. I don't expect this to cure all of our issues, but I think it'll raise the defensive level at least a little bit, or the level of the defenseman, not necessarily defensive, but it'll make them a little bit better. But I'm not sitting here thinking that it's going to change a huge amount.
Dan?
I mean, for me, it's first of all, it's not any kind of an indicative statement of what Markus Niemelainen has brought to the team necessarily. I just think he's the guy that's the odd man out. For Broberg, you don't want him to lose his spot just because of injury. So it's good that he's coming back for that. But I'm with you. Was it you that said about Ryan Murray? Like, I don't know. I would have been okay with a Ryan Murray send down too. I don't know.
Someone brought up a good point.
I think you leave Ryan Murray up so Nemo goes down and plays a lot, and
that's fair.
then Murray's the guy who can step.
Was that-
No need for me to comment.
Is that what you're gonna say?
Exactly what they said in the chat. Like,
That's fair.
Murray can sit in the press box where Niemelainen needs to play.
That's fair.
It's true.
And I got an issue with Murray. That guy can't stay on his feet recently. That dude falls over a lot.
He's got the old Brett Kulak thing going on.
Oh,
He's being weighed down by that tan, you know?
so many of these guys. I don't get it. The defensemen are like, they're all losing their feet in the corner. It makes no sense right now.
Is it time to blame the equipment manager?
Well, we might. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say maybe like make sure there's no tape on the bottom of your blades or something like that. Maybe the other teams are starting to get into it. Yeah, exactly.
It's been a few years since we blamed the equipment manager, so Might be time.
The water, at least.
Gone through everyone else.
Guys, can we do some research? Get some names for us, please.
Mm-hmm. Come for you, equipment managers. By all accounts, you work very hard, but not hard enough.
I have a question about blame if we've got a quick minute.
Please.
Fire Ken Holland was trending after Wednesday.
Ah, my Lord.
Thoughts? I am 100% off this train. This is not on him.
Kick us off. What's the rant?
How is it his fault that literally nobody is scoring when they were the 6th highest team in the league last year and you basically brought back anyone and everyone and added a tie-in rookie who also can't produce offense and you signed Evander Kane?
It's not worth a response. It's not worth a response.
It's ridiculous. I just think it's completely unreasonable to put it on him.
It's very Oilers Twitter is what it is.
Well, Liam, you had a really good tweet about it. You said blame or something about like looking for somebody to blame.
I wanted to know who people were blaming, and people commented Ken Holland.
No, I blame everybody with fucking skates on their feet.
I agree. I'm with you.
Because Liam, you were in the BCast chat the other day as well, and there's people doing it. And you're like, well, it's not, and I agree. Like,
I was commenting back.
If you look at the roster in the offseason, this is how it's made up. This is your top 9 or whatever. The fact that we're getting so few goals outside of the usual suspects is really surprising to me.
It would be really hypocritical of us to sit here and say, yeah, we should fire Ken Holland because we all knew that this was going to happen at the start of the season because we were all drinking the Kool-Aid. We all thought that this was, saying all this, and it has like a tone of like, we're defeated and we're lost, but we're not. We're still a 500 team and are still the exact same team that we were last year.
Our bottom floor right now is 500. So that's not the world.
I get it from the standpoint of like, this is also a city that had a guy drive around with a Kevin Lowe billboard behind it that said fire Kevin Lowe for years and years and years when he was just the president of hockey operations at that time. Not even really, and I mean, so anyways,
I did find it funny when he parked it outside of the old Oilers office.
And you know what? That's like, in its own right, it's funny, but yeah, I like, that's no different than like saying it's one player's fault.
Well, then let me throw this one at you, Dan.
Yes.
I got a question for the mailbag. Spoiler for Monday.
Spoilsies.
Did the Oilers make a mistake hiring Jay Woodcroft as the coach? Because that's where we're at these days.
Are we even giving that question the time of day?
You know why I included it in the mailbag, Tyler?
Because you're going to shit on him.
Because you want Brownlee's answer.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
There's an element of, I would say, from the playoffs last year to the game even this year, where Jay Woodcroft lost the head-to-head battle with Todd McLellan. And you can just, I think I can just comfortably say that McLellan knows how to play a Jay Woodcroft team, but I don't necessarily think
he knows how to play the Oilers because he's handled them all.
That's also the head coach, because we said it after the LA game. There was no adjustments whatsoever.
The head coach can tell you to do whatever, but if the guys with the skates on the feet don't do it, it don't matter what the head coach tells you.
It's like losing your dad in a card game.
The players
McLellan knew all his tricks.
The players know how to go out and fucking beat that. The players have to put their nose to the grindstone and go out there and do it themselves. They have yet to. There's a big letdown, I think, in terms of the emotional high you get when you're playing those playoff games, and then you come down to these games. You have those letdown games in the NFL or whatever like that, and we're kind of seeing that right now. They need to get out of it right now, but that's kind of where they're at right now.
But I think that's where, and I think my other point was going to be that you haven't seen it so much with the other games. It's just that it's the things like the starts that people point to a coach, and you're right, it is on the players, but people always point to the coach because the start of the game, who's the person that talks to the team right before they go out there? It's the coach, right? So it's just the easy answer.
But it's like they assume the coaches are, okay, guys, ease up for the first couple of shifts here. Yes. It's a long game. You got a lot of shifts. Don't put it all into the first one. I can't get behind those arguments.
I'm not blaming Woodcroft, but I am intrigued how this team has gone from such a pretty good 5-on-5 team defensively to an absolute shambles.
But it's because you have to want to go out there and play defensive.
But why don't these players want to do it anymore? Like, why did they want to do it so bad last season to make the playoff push, but now all of a sudden...
Because it's only game. Because I know this is a terrible mindset to have, but it's game 19 out of 82.
I know, but
it's just a terrible mindset to have.
To me, all I'm saying, and I think all Liam is saying too, is there's a question mark now raised I don't necessarily believe that it's time to change the coaching.
No.
But I just think that there's some questions where we're like, okay, and I think that's a fair point, that 20 games into the season, and we all talked about it in the offseason, how we were going to finally have a full season of Jay Woodcroft, getting these guys doing his things. But yet we're still 20 games into the season. We're asking, why haven't we started a game properly?
Probably because they're not doing his thing.
If it gets to the point where another coach needs to be gassed with this core, there are much bigger problems than the
that's
coach.
fair. Yeah, and I agree with that wholeheartedly.
And I don't think we're there yet.
No,
I don't think we're close at all.
It's not close at all.
No,
we've been playing the first quarter of the game, or the first quarter of the season, kind of like England played their fucking World Cup game today. They knew there wasn't a lot of, they didn't have to go out and win this. They don't have to have. And they just kind of got through it.
Yep.
Well, we're on the verge of sacking our managers, so take that for what it's worth.
But how many managers have you had in the last 5 years?
One.
Yeah. We're at what now? 4? 4 at least?
Jay Woodcroft's not the problem. I'm just going to say that right.
He's not.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Tyler, there are some problems though. Today on Oilers Nation every day, you talked about 5 alarming stats. So I just want you to share those with us today. We'll just get them out of the way. I like the way you put it on ONE. We're going to get them out of the way. We're going to talk about them. We're going to move forward a little bit of positives as we finish off this podcast.
Only 23% of teams who are outside of the playoffs on American Thanksgiving make it, and MoneyPuck.com currently has the Oilers at a 20% chance of making the postseason.
What kind of odds we have on the old gambling sites here?
I might look into that.
Yeah.
The Oilers have allowed the 7th most shots against per 60 at 5-on-5.
Sure.
Not good.
No.
The 3rd most goals against at 5-on-5 in the month of November.
Those two stats probably go hand in hand.
All of this, despite the fact that their goaltending actually hasn't been that terrible. 17th in the NHL at 5-on-5 this year. Can you imagine if it wasn't league average?
But could you imagine if it was above average?
I don't think things would be that much.
These are concerning stats or alarming stats. With McDavid and Draisaitl off the ice, the Oilers are being outscored 13-7 at 5-on-5 and outshot 183-159. The outscored 13-7 is the bad part, or the really bad part.
And
I love the Korskis though, so I want them to get more shots also.
I basically would say that you just want that to be even, right? At the very worst. Yeah.
But right now it's almost 2-1 for the opposition. So not great. Not great. I also then, because I said I wanted to put all the bad stuff behind us, I had 3 encouraging signs.
Ooh, here we go.
There are 10 teams in the NHL with a 550 or better points percentage. So the top 10 teams in the NHL, in the month of December, the Oilers only play 2 of them.
So we're getting a little bit like the tough schedule we started with.
On top of that,
got a little bit of a turnaround.
On top of that, 6 of their 15 games are against teams with a worse than 500 points percentage. So the bottom third of the league.
In my experiences, that's not necessarily a good thing for this team. Hopefully it's different. Yes. Hopefully it's different in this year, but I've seen a lot of bad things come from that.
Their 5v5 shooting percentage is 30th in the NHL at 7.02. Last year, it was league average, 16th at 8.52. It should go up. If you're at 7% now, that through 6 weeks or whatever we are, that means you should have 6 weeks where you're at 9 or 10%. That's good.
There you go.
There's that. And the Pacific Division, specifically, I had some numbers there. The Oilers are only 4 back of LA and have 2 games in hand on them. So that is a very catchable team for the Oilers. And they've already lost a head-to-head game against the LA Kings. Seattle and Vegas, though, the teams that are 1 and 2 in the division, they are both top 5 in the NHL in 5-on-5 PDO, which tells you their play and their numbers are probably a little bit unsustainable and they're due to regress down a little bit. Negative
Need a
regression.
little luck.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, the 5 worst teams in the Western Conference, San Jose, Anaheim, Arizona, Chicago, Vancouver. Seattle's played them 4 times. Vegas has played them 6 times. Edmonton's only played them twice.
So there you go. I think what Tyler's saying is the Oilers have to win some of these games they're supposed to win.
Got to beat the shitty teams.
But maybe things aren't as bad as we see them to be right now.
Ultimately, like I said, yes, it sucks to be 500 after 20 games. No doubt about it. But man, it could be worse. It could be worse than being 500.
But you got to think, we are not playing good right now. We are all sitting here. Everyone's fucking bummed out with this team. We're still 500.
This team missing the playoffs. You say it almost yearly now, Tyler.
It's kind of my thing.
And then last year they turned it around in February.
Yeah, in
There's
February.
a lot of runway left to go.
There's a lot of runway. Like that's why on Real Life we were asked what our level of concern is, scale of 1 to 10. I was still down at like a 3.5, 4 in that range.
My frustration level is through the goddamn.
Oh, my
roof.
frustration,
My
I'm
worry
12 out of
level
10.
is still pretty low.
Yeah, I'm a 5. Dan, what are you?
Well, asking my number of where I'm at
Yeah,
worried.
your nerve number.
I would say 3.5, 4. Like I would, like if you look at the last few years, we've fallen apart in December, and that's concerning to me because we haven't
It's a
yet
lack
hit
of vitamin
December.
D, you know?
But
I think so.
that's so I just like I like hearing the numbers from Tyler, but I am a little bit concerned that December is not our best month.
Liam, what's your number? Your nerve number.
Well, pick a lot of this stuff with my heart.
Please.
I'm probably a 6 because what worries me the most is literally everything that has gone wrong, could have gone wrong this season has gone wrong so far. We literally had a player get his wrist slit on the ice.
Not good.
Like
And the goalie take a puck to the nose, just sitting there.
Yes.
Brett Kulak has tripped in the exact same spot twice.
Like just everything is going so poorly for this team, and it's very worrisome to see these trends continue over weeks.
As an English football fan, you understand
This
this.
has been happening for decades for me.
Well, as an Oilers fan, it's been happening for decades. Don't worry.
Yeah. So I would give myself a slightly above average of a 6.
There you go.
The correct answer is 2.9 on the worry scale.
That might be the average.
If you're listening to this right now, I want to know your nerve number out of 10. How nervous are you? Owen, hit us up, Owen Radio Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Looking ahead tomorrow, we are going to be down at Soho on Jasper Ave for the Brunch for Ben. Thank you guys for selling it out. Very, very much appreciate all of you. Who are you starting, though, against the Rangers? We were talking about this. Well, we tried to get to this yesterday on Real Life. That just really did not happen. So I'm just asking. Who are you starting tomorrow against the New York Rangers? I'm going to go back to Stuart Skinner. I think that the Oilers need to win. They can't get swept on this road trip. Stuart Skinner, I think he deserves and has earned a chance to rebound from a tough start in his last one out. Made the mistake against whoever that was, ends up in the net. Way she goes. I'm going back to Skinner. Rick?
Jack.
Why?
I think he came in here as your number 1. He's obviously trying to figure out his game right now. Yeah, obviously you don't want to get swept, but I don't think there's one goaltender that gives you on ice that much of a difference right now. I still think it's the 5 guys in front of them that need to play properly, and I think this is a perfect opportunity of your quote unquote number 1 starter, your 5x5, another opportunity to start gaining some of his momentum.
Dan, what say you?
I'm with Rick in the sense that I don't think it matters which goalie we start. The team in front of them is going to dictate how we win this game or lose this game. But I would go back to Stuart Skinner for that reason that just like with Jack, when he had a bad game, we got him back in there after another game off. I think you should do that with Skinner as well.
Tyler?
At first I was on the fence and I said it really didn't matter. But then some people in the chat on Oilers Nation every day were like, Skinner is coming off a poor game. They said he's earned the chance to redeem himself. And I think he has. He didn't play great earlier in the week, but I think you look at his body of work on the air and you go, you know what? You're a big reason why we're not worse than 10-10 so far this season. You deserve a chance to bounce back. You shouldn't have to sit on that bad start for 7 days.
Liam, what you got?
Yeah, I would probably go Skinner too. I wonder the broken nose thing. Would it be that bad to give Campbell another day off to?
That's not that big of a, that's not a big deal.
I can't believe he played as fast as he did, but
What I couldn't believe is the people that, like last episode we talked, Dan brought up the fact that you don't blow your nose after getting your nose broken.
And the one for
Your eyes will swell up.
That was gross.
We had people sending us photos of that. It is jarring.
yeah.
WWE guy.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, it's do not blow your nose if you think you've broken your nose.
Again, this is a PSA from Dan. Don't blow your nose if you think you've broken it because your eyes will swell shut. It's gross.
It makes you feel like you have to do it though. Like your body is instinctually telling you blow your nose, so don't do it.
Ugh. Blech. Okay, for our friends at twigandberries.ca, it is time for hot and cold, or Ask the Idiots, I should say. Got a couple of questions from you. I'm going to get the boys' first opinions on all of it. If you head on over to twigandberries.ca, use the promo code Nation15, get a little discount on your order. If you're out in St. Albert, pop in store. Try a hoodie on. ODR season is just around the corner when it stops raining. You're going to look fresh out there. Ask the Idiots. First question. Liam, I'm going to start with you. It's American Thanksgiving, but I still want to know what everybody thinks is the best, the ultimate Thanksgiving Day food.
Well, I've only celebrated Thanksgiving for the last 3 years. So stuffing.
You were never thankful before 3 years ago?
Not in England.
Wow.
I guess I didn't move here 3 years ago, but I just didn't do anything for like 8 years.
I'm going to tell Liam I love stuffing. I'm going to say that is my ultimate Thanksgiving Day food. Tyler?
I love stuffing too, but you got to like load it up with gravy. And I will say, doing like the ultimate bite when you're having your Thanksgiving meal, when you throw some turkey, some potatoes, some stuffing, and some gravy just all on one big forkful, and you cram that down your
Mullet? Oh, I dig it.
You're like
That's
a pelican
the
out
best.
there.
That is the best when you get the ultimate bite.
Rick?
You know what? That's it's going to be stuffing. The mashed potatoes need gravy. Turkey usually good on its own. White meat needs gravy, but if you make a really good stuffing, then you can just take that all away, and I'll just eat stuffing.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm going to make a fourth vote for stuffing here. The key is for
Clean
me
sweep for stuffing.
is you have to make it inside the turkey though. You can't do stovetop.
See, I'm off.
Stovetop's good.
You can mix in stovetop with the turkey, but you
Well, it doesn't
have to
be
have something
stovetop.
made
You can
inside the
make
gut.
like a real one.
Yes.
But there's only so much space inside the turkey.
Yep. You have
So it
sometimes
has
you have
to be,
extra.
there's got to be some in
So
there.
either we're
But,
getting a massive turkey
yeah, but there's
or a
only so
big
much you
old
can
cast
fit in
iron
there.
pot.
And then you need another fucking pot of it over there.
Yep. Because sometimes, like if I'm being honest, and I will be, sometimes I just do like my second plate is just all stuffing.
Yeah.
And like, let's face it, that I don't know what everybody else says. You need to make a bigger dinner because I'm coming over with at least 3 to-go containers.
Yeah.
And not like little shallow ones either. I got the deep fuckers.
Yeah.
Question
I
number
can eat
2.
stuffing for another week, no problem.
Oh, I'll just, you know what?
Mine doesn't last that long, unfortunately.
Sometimes I'll be honest. Sometimes I just make stovetop stuffing just because I like it. I don't care.
Dude,
what
you go to
season it is.
go to Safeway, get that little frozen block.
Yeah.
That works really well.
Reversing the order. This is from Kylie, our girl Kylie. Dan, realistically, what do you think the Oilers need to do to turn this around?
Pull up their boots and wake up earlier. I don't know. I think that the answer lies within. It lies within the players. And those are the only people that are going to decide whether we're going to continue to play 500 hockey or if we're going to start playing like a Western Conference finalist.
Rick?
You're right. It is from within, but it's just that 5-on-5 team mentality, that team game on the ice that they have to do.
Tyler?
Play with more desperation.
Yes.
You know, I think that's really what it comes down to. And I think it'll be a telling kind of week or two for this team. Because you're 10-10. Things are kind of hitting the shits right now. So do you have it in that room to kind of look at each other and go, guys, we got to get a win. And everyone, every time you're on the ice, needs to be doing everything they can to help us try to get the win? Or are they going to go out there and float around for the first 15 minutes against New York
and just wait to see somebody start the game?
Yeah, wait until
that.
McDavid scores a sick goal and then they'll be like, oh shit, let's play hard. Like play with some desperation right from the jump. That's my thing.
A lot of urgency. Liam, what do you say?
Yeah, I think the urgency is a big thing. Playing together and being urgent together.
I'm going to just say
And don't tie.
they have to simplify things a little bit. Get greasy. I want to see a team that charges the net, hacks away. Like there's a couple of guys that'll do it. Like Zach Hyman's always in front of the net. Yes, is starting to get there a little bit more, but I want more people crashing the net. I want a point shot to go through and there's bodies there hacking away. Like the Oilers don't do that right now. Secondly, respect the blue lines. I've been saying it for years. Can't give the puck up at either blue line on 3 feet either side. Next question. I'm just going to start in the middle. Tyler, you're up. Should Evan Bouchard take a trip to Bakersfield to restore some of his confidence?
Nope. Next.
Rick?
No.
Dan?
One of my favorite television shows of all time is called Canada's Worst Driver. And I'd love to just tell Evan, look where you want to shoot the puck, not where you're afraid
No,
of hitting, because it
they're gonna
feels like he's
stand.
killing the shin pads.
That is a good show, though.
It is a good show. And I just think that he needs to look past the shin pads, see past the shins.
Liam?
No. Can he even go down?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think anybody can go down with,
No, you got to clear waivers.
with waivers.
I don't think he needs.
No, I guess he's still on.
All you have to do, Liam, with the Seattle Kraken have shown us, all you have to do is scratch him for 5 games, and then you can send him down for a conditioning stint, and then he goes to the OHL.
Bouchard is no longer waivers exempt. So yeah, no, definitely
So
not.
definitely not. I did not know that. So no, absolutely not.
My other question would be, who are you bringing up? Like, who's replacing?
Niemelainen.
Yes, Niemelainen.
Jason Demers.
Okay.
Alex Chason. Or the other Chason that we have.
Oh,
Jake.
question. Jake Chason.
There you go.
Question number 4, back to Liam. With a weaker Western Conference, do we still have the time to right the ship and make it back into the playoffs? What does your heart tell you?
Are we 1 point out of the playoffs right now?
Yes.
Do we have enough time, Liam?
Yes. What's that one? Is it R. Kelly song? It's like my mind keeps telling me no, but my body keeps telling me yes.
I don't think that's R. Kelly.
But it applies.
Anyone got that one?
I don't know.
I think what you're looking for is the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen.
Well, actually, if you
Mama
see
rolling that body, got every man in your wishing.
Let's go.
it's the start of American Pie, the reunion. When they're doing the Universal, it's that
right.
song.
Here's homework
That
for all the
song is
listeners.
by, well, hang on. There's a couple now.
Maybe it's Nelly.
Hot and Her?
No,
Nelly or Nelly Furtado?
Country Grammar.
Nelly. Country Nelly. Yeah.
I think actually Liam might be right. I think R. Kelly did a version of that song called Bump and Grind.
Yeah, dig it.
Maybe.
Wow.
I don't remember where we were at.
Nice poll. Nice
Someone
poll,
said
Liam.
the Oilers are 1 point back or out of the playoffs. They are actually tied with St. Louis for the final wildcard spot, even though St. Louis has a game in hand.
We're in the playoffs.
Tied for a playoff spot.
Tyler,
On American Thanksgiving.
Tiebreaker.
is there plenty of time to turn this ship around?
62 games to be exact.
Uh-huh.
Not 72. 62.
Yes.
Dan.
I'd say we got about another 80 games left to go this season at least.
I'm going to say, yeah, there's plenty of time. It sucks. Don't get us wrong. Nobody's happy about the way this started, but like there's plenty of time. The Oilers are going to turn it around. Feel good about it. Last question. Ask the idiots for our friends at twigandberries.ca. Dan, I'm going to start with you. I don't think a trade is coming. That's not really Ken Holland's MO. So what does the group in the room specifically have to do better? Name one issue you're seeing and how do they fix it?
Outside of saying team defense, let's say the penalty kill needs to be better.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's been a little bit better the last couple of games, but it needs to go a long ways.
Rick, what do you got? One thing you see that's an issue and how do they fix it?
They all need to look themselves in the mirror.
Get one big tall mirror.
Yeah. It's got to be super wide though, because
For the entire team.
It's got to be wide and tall, because tall and short. And,
all individuals though.
and you got to look at yourself, and if you are happy with the way you're playing, cool. If not, then you got to fucking fix your game. And I don't think anyone's going to be very happy with the way they're looking at.
It almost got like a mirror room.
And just have one word at the
That
top.
might be a
Are you
little
happy with your
excessive.
game?
Just
House
one
of
mirror is
mirrors.
enough.
Or take them to a ballerina studio, ballet studio. There you go. And they
Maybe
can all
they
do
take-
right in front of the mirror.
Maybe
Just
they
one
take the
mirror, go one at a
LRT.
time. This way you're looking at yourself only and not looking at anybody else.
What if it's a funhouse mirror though?
No, it's just one mirror. Like the lady who came out of the mirror.
You walk up and then all of a sudden
Yeah, because
Tyson's
you
like,
look at
oh my
one
God, I
person in
gained
that
200
fucking eyes
pounds.
there. I don't want them looking at anybody else. You look yourself in the eyes.
Maybe they have to take an LRT ride to Rexall Place, and as they're walking down the stairs,
don't have-
they
don't
got
have-
that mirror right there.
Yo, they don't got that type of team toughness. Take the LRT out, okay?
What if it's just
Wait till Kane comes back.
What if it's just two eyeball-sized mirrors that look right back at them?
That's fine.
Well,
There you
maybe
go.
they should go to Rexall.
Dude,
Look at
that
what-
place
look
has
at what they
so
used to
many.
have.
No, they have so many demons in that place. Do not go anywhere
should
near
make
that
them-
And
They
by
place.
should have to-
demons, you mean rats, right?
Well, there's.
Anytime the Oilers are below 500, they should have to practice at old Rexall Place.
Or practice at West Ed so we can yell our
There you
tips
go.
to them.
Yeah.
I dig it.
See?
Have you guys considered scoring more?
And then people upstairs are just coughing.
Can't
Just
even hit the
coughing
name
above them.
practice.
Tyler, what is one issue you see and what is your solution to fix it?
I feel like we kind of answered this one already, but like,
What is your solution to fixing it?
What is your one thing, Tyler?
skate and forecheck harder, be shit disturbers on the forecheck, create turnovers, all that stuff.
Have you put this on their Yelp page yet? Do they know? This is the whole fucking issue. You
And
haven't put it on their Yelp page yet.
You know what
How are they
else we
supposed to
haven't
fucking
talked
know?
about? We still haven't hit the 2 week point after the signing thing at West Ed when everyone's going to get sick.
No, they did a good job this year of sanitizing everyone, apparently.
Liam?
Yeah, I guess trying to think of something different. I will say
Go on the offensive thing.
that's what I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Win
put the puck in the net.
Yeah, say something
Solution,
offensive.
shoot more than 50 times.
I'm going to say that I see the forward specifically flying the zone early on the breakout. Cannot. You need to give some support.
Especially to a team that's having issues getting the puck out.
Yes.
Stay there. At least one fucking guy stay there.
Yes. Like, I don't even mind if one guy runs out and tries to spread things out a little bit.
Fine.
But you need outlet passes. You need options. And the Oilers are just not doing that right now at all. How do you fix it? Stop flying the zone. Got it? Good. Ask the Idiots for our friends at Twig and Berry. Send me your questions for the boys. They get their first responses right here in the podcast. twigandberries.ca. Use the promo code NATION15. We're back. I want to tell you really quickly about the Nation Gear Blackout Collection, just launched at nationgear.ca. The 2022 Blackout Collection is only going to be available for a handful of days. So if you're looking to look a little bit sexier than you do right now, head on over to nationgear.ca. Grab yourself a hoodie, or these toques are super fresh. I want one of these.
They are nice.
I think they're going to look real good. Nationgear.ca to get in on the Black Friday collection. Time for hot and cold performers for our friends at Canada Snowboard. The big air competition coming up at Commonwealth Stadium on December 10th, presented by Toyota and our friends at Explore Edmonton. It's going to be fun. If you've seen the ramp, the setup, it is going to be sweet. It's going to be an awesome event in the city. I'm looking forward to it. Tyler and I are going to be there, and you should too. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster right meow. As we do every week, we start off with our veggies with our cold performers of the week. Liam, you are to my right. Your Canada Snowboard cold performer of the week.
You just gonna name the whole roster today or what?
I will go with video assistant referees in the World Cup. It's been absolutely horrendous. It's been inconsistent, and I am tired of it. You're there to help, and you make it significantly worse.
Can you give me an example?
Yes, I can give you an example. Richie Larea got literally kicked in the calf in the Canada game in the penalty box, and it wasn't called a penalty after they went to the...
That's when he stepped on his foot, right?
No, it was a different one. So there you go. There's another one that wasn't called. I tweeted about this.
But the step on the foot, they went and like checked it.
Yeah, and it wasn't one. And then they also checked.
In your estimation, was that a penalty?
Yeah, he didn't have the ball and he stepped on him.
Okay, so I had some guys say yay and some guys that said
yeah. I think it was. And then there was the one in the Portugal-Ghana game yesterday where the Ghanaian defender came across, got the ball first, and then Ronaldo kicked him in the heel, and they got a penalty. Just inconsistent, and he's frustrating.
Are you thrilled?
Nope.
I'm not.
Tyler, you're up next. Your Canada Snowboard cold form of the week.
New Jersey Devils fans, your team won 13 in a row, and then 3 fairly legitimate goals got waved off. Like, I didn't think you had a big beef with any of them, and you responded by throwing beers on the ice? Weak. Cold performer.
I'm upset.
Those are full beers.
That's a lot of money hitting the ice. That's the first thing I thought.
And it's also idiotic because, like, full beers.
Yeah, it's full of beer. I know, don't get me wrong. I've been to a lot of games. I've definitely felt the urge to do this. Oh boy, do I ever want, but no, you can't do that.
I'm way too cheap to chuck a full beer on the ice. First of all, I spent $20 US on that thing. I'm not chucking it on the ice ever.
Well,
I say that as a guy that got one in the head in the playoffs.
It's also weird to me that there was that many full beers with 2 minutes left to go in the game.
This reminds me of, I think it was the St. Patty's Day game last year. I was sitting at my seat at an Oilers game, and this guy runs down. I think I've told the story on this pod before, and he yeets a full beer, and it hits the mesh because that's all that was in front of him because he was hammered, and it comes down and it hits a guy, and he just started standing there. He was clearly just out of his mind, and he just started like looking around, being like, "Wasn't me," and everyone was looking at him like, "What are you doing?" And then he takes off, runs. 5 minutes goes by. He's back down the stairs on the other side of the section and just sits down in an open seat. And then he sees security coming. So he jumps the rail into club access and sits in another seat there. So they had to walk all the way around. And
those guys can't jump the rail.
It was a wild few minutes at the Oilers game, but that guy just fired it off the mesh.
I think the point Tyler's trying to get to is don't throw beers.
Yeah, don't throw anything.
Even when I got hit with the beer, Tyler, you were sitting right beside me. I wasn't the damage in that beer chucking incident. The poor lady sitting behind me is the one that had it blow up all over. You know, don't throw beers. Don't throw beers.
It's not right.
Tyler.
Tyler, is your laptop dying? Did somebody warn you before the podcast started airing that your laptop might die?
What's our
whoa.
What's the percentage right now?
Wait. What was my answer when you said, Tyler, does your laptop have enough juice? I said just enough.
68%.
It was at 68%. We are now at the hour and 3 mark. So I would be fine. I probably could push it. It's at 8%.
Have you ever been on this podcast and have we ever finished on an hour mark?
I know, but I just had, and the other thing is I need to plug it in now because if it does die, we lose the whole episode. So
yes.
Keep going.
All right. Rick, you're up for Canada Snowboard. Your cold performer of the week.
It's our defensive zone coverage. Plain and simple. I don't think there's not much explanation needed for that one.
That's a joke. That's an absolute joke is what it is.
Nation Dan, your Canada Snowboard cold form of the week.
Well, this is a disclaimer because you know what? If you enjoy it, I hope you enjoy it. But my cold performer of the week is going to go to FIFA for giving this World Cup to Qatar in the first place. We cannot just allow the game starting to whitewash away all of the misgivings that the country of Qatar has done up until this point. And FIFA has been a part of and been part and parcel too, because Liam, and you can confirm this for me, after the next World Cup is given out to North America, which it has been, where's the next one rumored to be given to, Liam?
There is a joint bid between Greece, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia.
So some countries with some other questionable social and
dude, he said this week that North Korea's got an opportunity.
Yeah, they did bring that.
They're going to bring us all together. You know?
So
just for the love of the game.
So for FIFA and for Qatar, an asterisk with Qatar, because I mean, you know what? It just could have been anybody that was corrupt. But for FIFA, you're going to get my cold performer of the month.
Oh, that's coach.
Every week, Dan just keeps coming.
I got to do it. I got to keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, enjoy it if you're a fan of football, because don't get me wrong, every other sport has its own issues, and we're just pretending if we don't think that if hockey had a World Cup of hockey every year that we wouldn't have these issues.
Societal issue.
That's exactly it. But FIFA, you're in the limelight right now, and so you get to wear the crown.
My Canada Snowboard cold performer of the week is just like, it's annoying that the Oilers are 500 right now. I get it. But can we stop with the "Are Connor and Leon gonna leave" nonsense that's popping up on social already?
We're doing that again?
And I'm not even talking about other fan bases. Other fan bases doing it, I understand. I get it. But if you cruise the Oilogosphere right now, it's coming back and it's just annoying. Stop it. Stop it.
You're as cold as ice.
But what if they traded McDavid for Barzell and 2 first-round picks?
Yeah.
I saw that one once.
Why wouldn't you do that?
I hope England loses their next game.
Come on.
We'll fight fire with fire.
It's getting really nasty. Just drops like dry.
We're getting personal now.
Mine was a joke.
That one felt personal too far.
Let's end off the podcast with some positives. Nation Dan, you were up first. Your Canada Snowboard hot performer of the week.
Well, my hot performer of the week is going to go to all the Nation citizens that sold out our first annual brunch for Ben. Thank you to the Stelter family for allowing us to put on something so special, and for Nation citizens for always showing up, and the donations keep pouring in.
Feeling hot, hot, hot. Feeling hot, hot, hot.
Rick, you're up next. Your Canada Snowboard hot performer of the week.
It's going to go to a city of people.
As opposed to a city of what?
Well, yeah, I get you. It's going to go to Buffalo and the citizens of Buffalo for the way they dealt with their snowmageddon there, and the way they're digging out their fucking bells. And we're all sports fans here. If you live 3 doors down from Connor and we had fucking 9 feet of snow coming in here and he had to get to the airport, you know damn well we'd all do the same thing, right? So it's just cool seeing people come together to get to their favorite players out of there.
We the best.
Wouldn't have to shovel Connor out heated driveway.
Touche.
You think he just stands out there and just kind of like looks around at everybody else shoveling? He's like, "Peh."
Turns up
Not
the
me.
heat a little bit more. Just
goes back into the cryogenic chamber.
View.
A nice view.
Connor McDavid?
Yeah, it's a good view.
Do you not remember that video where he's like,
The view
look
of
at
the
this
ravine?
view, and it was just like dead trees.
it's
for
right next
miles
to
see.
it's right next to Daryl Cates' house. So
Oh yeah.
same spot, same area.
Mm-hmm. Tyler, you're up next. Your Canada Snowboard hot performer of the week.
I do agree with everything Dan said about the World Cup, but I am enjoying the way Canadians are coming together over this national team. I think that is the one big positive that comes of this. And this would have been the case no matter where they played. But watching Canada play in a World Cup game, for me, like, I'm not even a diehard soccer fan, but like, it was awesome. And I am now fully invested in this thing like I was when they came to Edmonton. And I just love like being on Twitter or like the casual conversations in like the hockey beer league dressing room, and everyone comes in and like, oh my God, the match today, this, and this. And this is exactly how you grow a sport, right? You do stuff like this. So the way everyone's come together to root on our Canadian national team.
It's getting hot in here.
Shout out FIFA.
Looking at our boy Adam Seaborn, who does some sales for us here at the Nation Network, it looks like there was an average audience of about 3.7 million people watching that Canada game against Belgium the other day. So
Pretty good.
I agree. It's also going to grow the game in the sense that if you can get a lot more kids just into soccer. There's such a low barrier to entry to play that sport. All you need is a ball.
I feel like that number is very low.
And indoor soccer exists in this city.
I don't even know how they measure it really. Like if I have 3 TVs on in my house and they're all in the soccer game, do I get credit for 3 or do I only get 1?
You only get 1.
See, it's bullshit.
And it also doesn't do online streams.
Oh, so I imagine a lot of people are at work watching the game.
It's a lot of guesswork
does it
now.
Count, like, how does it count for like heads in a bar?
You get one TV.
I guess it would just be off the TV provider.
The Nielsen family thing does exist still, though. I do know that because I used to work for Nielsen. It's still a thing. You can have a box put in your house that says that you're one of the people that Nielsen measures off of.
So I feel like the Grey Cup had like 8 million people tune in at one point or something. I thought I saw.
It's a bit of a wild ending to the Grey Cup, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Anyone see that?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Good for them.
It was. I watched the last 5 minutes. I did my Canadian thing.
Yep, me too.
Where are we at? I don't even remember.
It's me. I haven't done my hot performer. My hot performer goes out to the fans of the World Cup. Because for me, that's always the best part about watching football is the fans and the way people really get up for it and dress up in all these stupid... Like there was a guy dressed as George Washington for the US today, stood in the crowd. Imagine how hot he was. Yeah. And then you got all the African fans that are awesome and the England fans yelling about a bunch of stuff that I can't say, but it's good. That's my favorite. One of my favorite parts about the World Cup is the atmosphere.
I'm staying alive. You know what? I don't like that button that I just gave you. I'm going to give you this one.
Put some respect on my name.
There you go. My Canada snowboard hot performer of the week is actually, you know what? It's just the takes. The takes coming in right now are spicy. They are hot takes all over the place. And I just want to give Oilers fans credit for being endlessly passionate about this team. Even if a lot of you are wrong, I still admire the takes. I still appreciate the hot takes.
This is why I'm hot. I'm hot because I'm fly. You ain't because you not.
Hey, how about this? Mark McMorris confirmed to be participating in the FIS Snowboard Big Air World Cup
I asked that last week.
Mm-hmm. And so will Max Parrott, who is a big deal.
Is he an actual parrot?
No, human. Stunning, actually.
It would have been sweet.
And he has a child, a human child.
Okay.
From a city.
I was just checking.
Mark McMorris. That's pretty cool.
It's going to be fun.
The Subway ads too.
Yep.
Yep. Subway Refresh. They are not a sponsor, although we could turn it into one.
I'm going to fucking bleep that. They don't get that mention.
Unless you order on DoorDash, of course, Liam.
Ding dong.
Thank you very much. For our friends at DoorDash, Oodle Noodle, Tourism Jasper, Twig and Berries, and Canada Snowboard, this is episode 965,000 of Oilers Nation Radio. Appreciate you being here on Friday. Please tell a friend. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
Shout out, Ben.
And England.
Thanks for listening to Oilers Nation Radio, delivered by DoorDash. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.